All right, so today we're going to be looking at GU and GA for GU potential sales as well as GPUD for potential sales as well. So just a quick breakdown on what I'm expecting to happen here on GPUSD since it has been respecting its areas to the downside now. So we take a look at here on the daily time frame, or as mentioned last week, that we had came tested this commission at price candle here, which had filled in the imbalance area and started rejecting to the downside, creating some good structure and respecting this new one that we had created as well on the daily time frame. As you could see, when market came into it, went above it just to cloud this liquidity that we had on the forward time frame right here, which I believe was like some equal highs around that area. Yeah, just those equal highs right here. Cloud that liquidity, which created this wick to the downside to start making new momentum back down. Coming back into a daily, we can now see how market has now broken structure right in this area. We have broken support, so we are now in a bearish market since we had already broken the structure here. More than likely, market should come retracing down to just completely fill in this imbalance area. Once we fill that area, but we'll just have to wait and see what would be the next move. Either if it continues on dropping lower to continue clearing out the sales side liquidity, or just respect inside our commission price candle that we have, I believe, in the 4-hour, 1-hour time frame right in this area that I have marked, and just continue then rising back up. But at the moment that I'm waiting for is just for market to create this retracement either during the London session. Hopefully this London session, we do see that movement up to create a retracement. If not, just going to continue on dropping and come to the accumulation price candle that we see down here on the forward time frame. The retracement that I'm expecting to happen would be to just come and test this accumulation price candle, which is our last bullish candle that we have before the drop, which is where institutional banks got in for shorts here, which is the smart money movement. If we also start marking the fib from where it is from the start of that impulse on the daily time frame and even on lower time frames, we can see how we come into that 50 level, that 0.50, which the 0.50 is an area that you want to be looking into once you see break of structures. That's the area that's going to be respected the most, which is the 0.50 level, which is the equilibrium price as well, which that's the most respected once and only when you have a break of structure to come and retrace back into that area. Once we come now into a lower time frame, we could just kind of see how it's creating this distribution. Every time that we see distribution form, just like this, which is consolidation, it's mainly accumulating buyers and accumulating sellers, which is creating buy side and sell side liquidity, which is down here, and buy side liquidity up here. As you can see all those wicks, it's just been accumulating buyers and sellers. Therefore, there's going to be liquidity to be cleared out for both sides. So what I want to see happen is for the buy side liquidity to be cleared out first and come and test into this daily commission price candle that we have here to then continue going lower and clear out the sell side liquidity. Or if not, what could also happen is that's going to clear out the sell side liquidity and come into this commission price candle that we see in the forward time frame that would be filling in as well the 4-hour time frame imbalance that we have right here. So if
that's why we're not chasing the market right now.
What was that?
That's why we're not chasing the market right now. We're waiting to see if it's either going to come back up and test to go keep lower, or if it's going to just keep pushing down.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's never good to chase the market either way, because anything could happen when you chase the market. You know, like, yeah, maybe you see, oh, it's coming down, and if you get in for a sell just because you know it's coming down, and you're not waiting for those confirmations, well, you can most likely lose that trade. So that's why it's not really recommended to just chase a trade, because your stops can be much wider. So therefore, you have to be holding a higher drawdown if it is that you go into drawdown, or who knows, it might just go your direction. But it's better to play it safe than to be sorry at the end of the day. So yeah, I just don't recommend it chase the market. That's one thing that I avoid doing. I used to do it in the past when I started trading at first. And I realized that I was losing a lot like that. So I stopped doing that. Right. So it's better to just wait for the confirmations to happen, pay some buy limits or sell limits, So what I'm gonna pretty much do here is gonna place a sell limit in this area and most likely as well a buy limit right here. But overall, the overall bias I'm expecting is to retrace up and then start coming down. If not, as mentioned, we could come also just close the sales of liquidity first, test the commission price candle here, and then retrace back up to now clear out the buy sell liquidity. So those are the two scenarios that you want to be taking a look at and see what could happen overall, right? And now we'll break it into the 1 hour time frame here for the shorting positions. As you can see, we've just been in distribution. Currently, right now, respecting this little commission price candle. Wouldn't really consider it a commission price candle because it hasn't really broken above or created any inbound zone with a high impulse. That's why you just want to be patient and wait to see what plays out here. So during London Open, which we still have like around 19 minutes for this 1 hour to close. Therefore, in 19 minutes, the London session should be opening and market should be more active. And that could kind of tell us where the direction is going to be heading to, either the upside or downside. If we come in, clear out the liquidity up here, well, most than likely, it's going to continue going higher to that daily commission price candle, which also is on the 4 hour time frame here, a supported area that we had before, right here. On the 30-minute time frame, well, this would be the entry right in this area. And my stop loss would be just above this 30-minute commission price candle that we see right there, which should be around a 29 pip stop for the sell limit that we should be placing to gain an overall profit of 111 pips. We are going to be having two take profits, which the first take profit would just be to come and clear out the low that we have currently created for the day, which would be around 70 pips. And our second take profit would obviously be down here, but we have that commission price candle because we could start seeing rejections or we could start seeing some slow movement in the market after that. So that right there is where I want to be placing my profit areas. And that'll be my stop loss from the 30-minute perspective, where we see the commission price candle, which I don't really see it going above that area because if we don't respect that commission price candle, well, that means that just market's going to continue going higher. So GU, we placed in a sell limit.
Okay. Is that okay? Cool.
So that would be the entry price. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second. You give the first take profit first, which is going to be right here, around 70 pips. So GP USD. Okay, for sale limit, my entry price is going to be at 1.3738. Take profit 1 is going to be at 1.36685, which is 69 pips. Take profit 2, be having it based from that 4 hour price candle right in that area. Which is going to be at 1.36265, which is going to be 111 pips. And the stop level, we have it at 1.37670, which is 29 pips. Any questions for the sell limit?
No, sir.
And as mentioned, also just take an eye out on this commission price candle. because we could start potentially looking for some buying positions there. Me personally, I'm not really going to be placing a buy limit just as now. Just kind of want to see how the market plays out. Cause I do expect for retracement up before we see this down movement happening to that conventional price candle. Let's see the daily.
Yeah, because it looks like there's a lot, like there's a lot of like on that last time frame you were on.
The 4 hour.
Yeah, can you go back to it? It looks like at that 1.34 level, like it has some retracement still to do. Possibly, maybe
You said wait, what level?
1.34.
Right here.
Um,
Oh, where did
actually,
like, where
it
did it go?
might be a little lower.
Lower than this?
Yeah, about right there, right there. See?
This?
Yeah,
So, oh, so what were you saying?
I said it could it possibly come down even lower to that area.
Let me check the daily. Yeah, it could. That's why I don't really want to be placing the buy limit because I want to see first how it plays off until we actually respect this conventional price. Because overall, the market right now is bearish. So we should be seeing a bearish market. And right there on that forward time frame that you mentioned, we do have this liquidity right here. Right
Okay, I see, I see.
which is, let me get the, where's the brush at here? Which is this right here, which I imagine that's an oversold area. Yeah, it's an oversold area. So right here, retail traders got in for buying positions. So we have stops accumulated in that area since it has been oversold. So we could still potentially come and reach down all the way down there for GPUSD. So yeah, that's why just keep an eye on that price candle, depending how we see the market play out in this commission price candle on what we're gonna do. So,
Okay, sounds good.
so yeah, so for example, like one other scenario that we could see happening is that if we come into this area first before coming up here, what's most likely to happen is that it's gonna obviously cloud the sales of liquidity that we have right here to then go higher, clear out this buy side liquidity, test into the daily commission price candle, and then continue going lower.
Okay.
You got that?
Yes, sir.
So I just want to see how that plays out, and then we'll see what happens during this London session open. And well, the next one is GA. GA, I am also going to be looking into getting for some shorting positions, maybe a sell limit. If we take a look at on daily, even on the weekly, I believe that we see, yeah, on the weekly as well. We could see how on the weekly time frame for the pound Aussie, which is Australian, we still need to come into the same balance area. Currently, we already broke below this weekly support. So market should continue going lower since we broke that support and come into this weekly imbalance. So GPAUD should continue to be in a bearish market. Coming into the daily, on the daily, we just see a lot of momentum still coming down. We see some price action right here. This bearish engulfing candle that we see, which is also an institutional move with that imbalance area that you'll see more clear on the 4-hour time frame, which is this candle to be filling in, the institutional candle. And we'll also remark the fib from the start to end of that impulse. You can see how we had the 79 fib level up here, which is the premium price, which would also be our commission price candle right there, the last bullish candle before the drop for GA. Coming into the 1-hour time frame, we would still be filling in the imbalance area that we have left behind, and would also be the opening of our 1-hour commission price candle right there. Once again, marking the fib from start to end of the impulse. That opening aligns good into that 7.9 fib level, which is our high premium price. So GPUD, I would also be placing a sell limit order. My stop would be around 28, 29 pips. My profit would just be to clear out this low, which would be like around 114. This would be the entry price, profit area, stop loss area. So GPUD also beginning for a sell limit. Sell limit. My entry price is going to be at 1.82, 830, which is 30 pips. And my profit area would be at 1.81690, which is 114 pips. And stop loss is going to be at 1.83130, which is minus 30 pips. You think if you lower down the music they have by any chance?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Make sure. So entry price is at 82830, stop is at 83130, and profit is at 81690 for GP AUD. Any questions on GA? Finish the profit that we're taking just to real quick clear out that low right there once we trace into that commission price candle that we see right there. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
All right, well, for now, I mean, these are the only two pairs that I'm taking that look out for tonight. As of right now, what looks that GU is coming to cause that liquidity. We still got 8 more minutes for Lynn to open. So we do caught that liquidity here before Lynn open, or once Lynn opens, we should start seeing the movement to the upside to then clear out this liquidity and potentially come into its daily commission price candle to then continue dropping. But other than that, I mean, that's all for today, which is the pound dollar and the pound Aussie. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next session.
All right, sounds good, brother.
Wait a second.